Well, hello, fifth graders. This is not what I expected to be doing this week, but here we are. I am coming to you from my house to your house, and hopefully, you just watched the video, the link that I shared with you about summarizing, because that's what we're going to be working on for the next couple of weeks. We are going to be working on summarizing fiction and nonfiction. If we were in school together right now, we would be talking about why would we even be doing this? Well, a lot of it has to do with we need to know how to take notes and find important points in both fiction and nonfiction, but especially in nonfiction, because that'll help us be better students. We'll study for tests. We'll be able to do all of that. So if you watched the video, you saw Mulan and you saw the type of summarizing technique that we're going to talk about today. Somebody, that's who the story is about. Wanted, that's what they wanted to do. But that's the problem that they were presented. So is how they tried to solve the problem, and then is finally the resolution. So I'm going to read you one of my favorite books. Now we have to excuse Miss Hill. If you've never watched me read a book in a video, sometimes my pictures don't line up with the camera because I still haven't found the camera on the iPad. So anyway, the name of the book is Spaghetti on a Hot Dog Bun. And the author is Maria Dismonde. And this is a book about having courage to be who you are. So I'm going to read the book and show you the pictures. And then we are going to do Somebody Wanted But So Then. And we're going to do it together, even though we are not actually together. The delicious smell of breakfast filled the air as Lucy's grandpa handed her a plate. Lucy smeared ketchup on her toast. She turned to her grandpa and said, "Papa Gino, Harriet said that she's never heard of ketchup on toast. Her family uses butter and jelly." So there they are. She put ketchup on her toast. It's a new one for me. "It's okay. Not everyone likes the same thing, Lucy. It doesn't mean one person is right or wrong. We're all different. What a boring world it would be if we were all exactly alike. Do you remember what's really important?" Papa Gino asked. Oh, here's Papa Gino. "Yes, Papa, even if we are different from others on the outside, we all have a heart with feelings on the inside." So there she is. So if I went ahead and asked you somebody, you would be saying in your mind, well, that's Lucy. The main character is Lucy. "That's my girl. Remember, when you treat others with love and kindness, you are doing the right thing," Papa Gino said. So they're saying goodbye. On the school bus, Lucy and her friend Harriet pulled out some paper and crayons. Sitting across from them was Ralph. As usual, Ralph sat alone, staring out the window. He looked over at them and he just rolled his eyes. In the classroom, Lucy sat down near the teacher. Ralph carelessly hurried over and tripped on Lucy's foot. Before long, he was glaring at her. So there he is, glaring at her. Ralph whispered, "Woof, I can't see the book because there's a poodle in front of me." Lucy could hear him giggling behind her. "Oh no, why'd it have to be me?" she wondered. So Ralph must pick on people. You know what? Lucy has a problem. And if I ask you the wanted part of our summarizing technique, think about what you would say while I'm reading the next few pages. During lunch, Harriet shouted out one of her silly jokes over the other children's voices, and they laughed so hard that their bellies shook. Across the table, Ralph hollered, "Yuck! What's that disgusting smell? Whoever heard of eating spaghetti in a hot dog bun?" Uh-oh. I think the wanted is and you were probably thinking this too, that Lucy wants to get along with everybody and just be who she is. Her problem seems to be Ralph. So Ralph seems to be the problem. Tony and the other children at the table turned away from Ralph, shaking their heads. Ralph continued, "Poor little Lucy with her hair so poofy." Tears filled Lucy's eyes and she began to cry. Poor Lucy. It's not nice when somebody makes fun of you. On the way home, Lucy thought about what had happened. Maybe Ralph is mean to me because he thinks being different is a bad thing. I wish he would stop teasing me. So he even teased her on the bus all the way home. So we have our somebody, Lucy, she wanted to be just who she was and have everybody like her. And the but was Ralph. So how is she going to try to solve the problem? Slowly, Lucy stepped off the bus. "How was your day?" Papa Gino asked. "Fine," she mumbled. Papa reached over and pulled a crayon out of her hair. "How did this happen?" Lucy did not say a word. That night, as Papa Gino tucked Lucy into bed, he asked, "Is everything all right at school?" And Lucy rolled over, and he sat down and whispered, "Always remember, if something's not right, we can work on fixing it together." It's not that easy, thought Lucy. How do I stop Ralph from teasing me? How can he have a heart and be so mean? She had a hard time falling asleep. The following day, Lucy was surprised to find Ralph leaving her alone until Lucy took the bag Ralph handed her. Inside were dog bones with a note that read, "Lucy, Lucy eats stinky food that puts us in a big bad mood. Lucy, Lucy, hair shaped like a cone. Here's a treat for you, a yummy dog bone." So there's the yummy dog bone. The beating of Lucy's heart was so loud she knew everyone around her could hear it. "Stop! It hurts my feelings when you do this, Ralph," Lucy said. "Please stop." Ralph just turned and walked away. How is she going to solve the problem? She's trying to talk to him. Is that going to work? It was recess time, and Lucy played alone. She didn't want to tell her teacher about Ralph. She was afraid of being a tattletale. Lucy wished Papa Gino was there to help. What should I do? She asked herself over and over. The bell rang and recess ended. She still didn't have a solution. "Help!" cried a child off in the distance. Tony yelled, "Ralph got himself stuck at the top of the monkey bars. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen." "This is my chance. I'll go tell Ralph how mean he really is. M-E-A-N, mean." And Lucy stomped off towards the monkey bars. And that was my cat coming to join us. When she reached Ralph, Lucy paused. She looked him in the eye and said, "What you did was so mean." Standing before Ralph, Lucy could hear her papa's word. Ralph did have a heart with feelings. So this is how she's trying to talk to him, and that's how she's going to solve her problem. In that moment, Lucy decided what she was going to do. This is the then of the summary. She saw tears in Ralph's eyes. He hesitated to move and whispered, "I'm scared. I'm really scared." Lucy reached out and said, "Here, take my hand," and she helped him down. And then the two walked into the classroom together. As the bus pulled up to Lucy's stop, Ralph reached over and handed her a picture. Lucy was amazed by what she saw. "Thanks," she muttered softly. After she got off the bus, Lucy smiled and said, "Papa, there's this boy named Ralph who was really mean to me. Today he was in trouble and I helped him." So she was a good friend, even though Ralph had not been a good friend. And Papa said, "You choose to treat others the way you want to be treated." And as they walked home, she asked him what was for dinner. When Papa Gino said spaghetti, Lucy knew immediately what she would have for lunch the next day. Spaghetti and a hot dog bun. Now, let's go back through this one more time. Somebody, Lucy wanted everybody to like her. She wanted to get along with everybody. The conflict, Ralph was very mean to her. How was she going to solve the problem? Talk to Ralph. Then how was the problem solved? She helped Ralph when he needed help. Now, next week, we are going to use our social studies book to summarize nonfiction. So I need you to have your Geography of the United States social studies book when we're together again next week. And I hope that you are all well at home. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you again next week. Thank you. Have a good day.